Did you know that a simple worm can be the key to a healthier, more vibrant garden? While millions of gardeners worldwide reach for chemical pesticides at the first sign of trouble, there's a revolutionary approach that's been quietly transforming gardens and farms across the globe. This isn't just another gardening trend, it's a return to nature's own pest management system, one that's been perfected over millions of years. Every year, over 2.5 billion pounds of pesticides are applied globally, with residential gardens accounting for a staggering portion of this chemical burden. What started as a promise of easy pest control has evolved into an environmental crisis that's literally eating away at the foundation of healthy gardening. The statistics are sobering. Pesticide use has increased 50-fold since the 1960s, yet crop losses to pests have nearly doubled during the same period. This paradox reveals a fundamental flaw in our chemical-dependent approach to garden management. The long-term effects of pesticides extend far beyond the immediate killing of target pests. These chemicals systematically destroy the delicate microbial communities that make soil truly alive. When you apply pesticides, you're not just eliminating harmful insects, you're wiping out beneficial bacteria, fungi, and microorganisms that have spent centuries building complex relationships with plant roots. This microbial genocide leaves your soil sterile and dependent on increasingly frequent chemical interventions. Water contamination represents another devastating consequence of pesticide reliance. Studies consistently show that pesticide residues leach into groundwater supplies, affecting drinking water quality for millions of people. In your own garden, this means that every application potentially contributes to broader environmental degradation while simultaneously reducing your soil's natural ability to retain and filter water effectively. Perhaps most concerning are the health risks associated with pesticide residues in homegrown food. The very vegetables and fruits you're growing to nourish your family may carry chemical residues that accumulate in human tissue over time. Research has linked long-term pesticide exposure to various health issues including hormone disruption, neurological problems, and increased cancer risk. The irony is profound. In trying to protect our plants, we may be compromising our own health and the health of future generations. Enter the humble earthworm, nature's most efficient recycler and soil builder. These remarkable creatures represent a complete paradigm shift from chemical-dependent gardening to a system that works with natural processes rather than against them. Earthworms aren't just garden helpers. They're ecosystem engineers that transform dead organic matter into living, nutrient-rich soil that naturally resists pest problems. The secret lies in worm castings, often called black gold by experienced gardeners. These aren't ordinary waste products. They're concentrated packages of slow-release nutrients, beneficial bacteria, and natural growth hormones that plants crave. When worms digest organic matter, they concentrate essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, while simultaneously inoculating the soil with beneficial microorganisms. This creates a living soil ecosystem that supports plant health from the roots up, naturally increasing resistance to pests and diseases. Water retention represents another crucial benefit of worm-enriched soil. The tunneling action of earthworms creates a network of channels that allow water to penetrate deeply while preventing runoff and erosion. Worm castings themselves can hold up to 9 times their weight in water, creating a natural irrigation system that reduces watering needs and helps plants survive drought conditions. This improved water management naturally reduces plant stress, which in turn makes plants less susceptible to pest attacks. The natural pest control provided by worms extends beyond soil improvement. As they consume organic matter, worms also consume harmful pathogens, insect eggs, and larvae that might otherwise damage your plants. Their digestive processes neutralize many disease-causing organisms, creating a natural sanitization system that operates continuously beneath the soil surface. Additionally, healthy worm populations attract beneficial predators like birds, ground beetles, and other natural pest controllers, creating a balanced ecosystem that manages pests without chemicals. Creating a worm-powered garden starts with understanding that you're not just adding worms to your existing system. You're transitioning to an entirely different approach to soil management. The most effective method begins with establishing dedicated composting areas where worms can process organic waste before enriching your garden beds. A simple 3-bin system allows you to maintain continuous worm activity while harvesting finished compost for immediate use. Setting up your first worm bin requires attention to moisture, temperature, and food sources. Worms thrive in environments that maintain between 55 and 75% moisture content, which is, roughly equivalent to a wrung-out sponge. The ideal temperature range falls between 55 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, making basement locations, garages, or shaded outdoor areas just perfect for worm bins. Food sources should consist of kitchen scraps like vegetable peels, coffee grounds, and eggshells, while avoiding meat, dairy, and oily foods that can create anaerobic conditions harmful to worm populations. Creating optimal conditions for worm populations really requires understanding their basic needs and life cycles. Worms are hermaphrodites that reproduce rapidly under ideal conditions, with populations doubling every 60 to 90 days. They require adequate bedding materials like shredded newspaper, cardboard, or coconut coir that maintain proper moisture while providing carbon to balance the nitrogen-rich food scraps. Regular monitoring and adjustment of moisture levels, pH balance, and food quantities ensure thriving worm populations that can process increasing amounts of organic waste. The production of worm tea represents the ultimate liquid fertilizer for your garden. This nutrient-rich liquid is created by steeping finished worm castings in water for 24 to 48 hours, creating a concentrated solution of beneficial microorganisms, growth hormones, and readily available nutrients. Applied as a foliar spray or soil drench, worm tea provides immediate nutrition while inoculating plants with beneficial bacteria that enhance disease resistance and nutrient uptake. The beauty of worm tea lies in its impossibility to over-apply. Unlike chemical fertilizers, it won't burn plants or create harmful buildup in the soil. Gardens powered by worm composting, consistently demonstrate superior plant health, increased yields, and just remarkable resilience to pest pressures. Successful gardeners often report that their transition to worm-based soil management typically results in increases of 30 to 50% in vegetable production, while at the same time reducing pest problems by 60 to 80%. These improvements, they occur because worm-enriched soil creates conditions that naturally favor plant health over pest proliferation. Research from agricultural universities time and again validates the effectiveness of vermicomposting for sustainable food production. Studies show that worm castings contain 5 to 11 times more nitrogen, 7 times more phosphorus, and 11 times more potassium than ordinary compost. More importantly, these nutrients are held in slow-release forms that plants can access over extended periods, which really reduces the need for frequent fertilization while maintaining consistent nutrition levels. The economic benefits of worm-powered gardening, honestly, become apparent within the first growing season. Families who fully embrace vermicomposting report reducing their fertilizer costs by 70 to 90% while eliminating pesticide expenses entirely. The initial investment in worm bins and starter populations, it typically pays for itself within 6 months through reduced input costs and increased production. And over time, the compound benefits of improved soil health create gardens that become increasingly productive and self-sustaining. Environmental impact assessments reveal that worm-powered gardens contribute significantly to carbon sequestration, water conservation, and biodiversity preservation. Each pound of organic waste processed through vermicomposting diverts material from landfills while creating valuable soil amendments that lock carbon into the earth. The elimination of chemical inputs reduces contamination of local water supplies while supporting beneficial insect populations that are crucial for ecosystem health. The transition to worm-powered gardening represents more than a change in technique. It's a fundamental shift toward working with natural systems rather than against them. This approach recognizes that healthy soil is the foundation of successful gardening, and that chemical shortcuts ultimately undermine the very systems they claim to support. By embracing vermicomposting, you're joining a growing movement of gardeners who understand that the most effective pest management system is one that prevents problems by creating optimal growing conditions. Starting your worm revolution can begin immediately with simple changes to your current gardening practices. Begin by collecting kitchen scraps that would normally go to waste, establishing a basic worm bin system, and gradually reducing your reliance on chemical inputs. The transition doesn't require dramatic changes overnight. It's about building sustainable practices that improve your garden's health over time. The resources available for learning vermicomposting continue to expand as more gardeners discover its benefits. Local gardening clubs, university extension programs, and online communities provide invaluable support for beginners while offering advanced techniques for experienced practitioners. The key is to start with basic principles and gradually expand your knowledge as your worm populations grow and your soil health improves. Your garden's future depends on the choices you make today. By choosing worms over pesticides, you're investing in a sustainable system that will continue improving year after year. This isn't just about growing better vegetables, it's about creating a legacy of healthy soil that will benefit your family and community for generations to come. Ready to transform your garden into a thriving, chemical-free ecosystem? Don't forget to subscribe to Smart Garden for more revolutionary gardening techniques that work with nature, not against it. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to join the worm revolution. Together, we can create a healthier world, one garden at a time. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest sustainable gardening discoveries.